You are welcome to yet another episode of HN What's Your Say? The leading listening show where we discuss important issues with important people like you. We are still featuring R. Kelly. Real name Robert Sylvester Kelly. Also known as the R&B King. For long now, there has been claims that R. Kelly has been a victim of planned blackmail, but this has only been said in statements whose authenticity had not yet been proven. While some involved parties mentioned this during some popular interview almost everyone has watched, the very same people chose to retrieve their statements which defended the R&B King, later testifying against him in trial. This resulted in mixed feelings from people who have been following the case, wondering what really happened, and exactly which part of their story was to be believed. When someone comes out to give two contradicting statements about the same issue, it creates a very confusing situation, as it becomes very difficult to tell which of the two stories was actually true. Even if they claim at one of the two instances they were in duress, and that they could not speak out their mind, you cannot be sure in which of the two events they were actually under pressure. We have seen people retrieve the truth and replace it with false witness on the second attempt to testify, yet claiming the first time they spoke is when they lied. When someone speaks up against their beloved parents, however, especially with claims of their intention to blackmail the man they claim to love so much, I wouldn't argue much about the authenticity of their accusations. Ditching your own parents is not something anyone would do, just because they have been threatened or told to do so. It would take me so much courage to say my parent committed such a crime as intention to blackmail an artist when I well know they didn't do it. I would need a tough soul like that of a serial killer to do such a horrible thing to my parents. It's actually always an easier thing to do, defending close family when they are implicated in any sort of criminal case. Not to ditch them just because someone is allegedly listening in on everything one is saying. New evidence to make the world know that R. Kelly was actually a victim of planned blackmail has been unveiled, with text messages revealing certain unbelievable communications said to have come from people directly linked to his case. Some of these texts reveal messages that are so ugly and hard to process. Messages that prove R. Kelly was indeed plotted against, framed and positioned well for blackmail. I would confidently say, any message from a parent to a child encouraging the child to seduce a man would indeed give birth to an ugly situation. Any messages from a parent encouraging an older man to commence a romantic relationship with their child, as the foundation of promoting their career, is surely an ugly deed. And any text messages, if any, where a mother tells their child how her son-in-law is going to be an older man, expressing joy over the matter, is also quite ugly. Isn't it? Because when it comes to R. Kelly's case, people came out to make very contradicting statements, saying this today and tomorrow the opposite. It becomes hard to decide which report we should believe. It's therefore advisable that the courts disregard all testimonies made by word of mouth, and instead rely more on physical evidence collected lawfully, if any, and any technological evidence which can be proved beyond reasonable doubt. Text messages, for example, cannot be easily forged, as they carry along important information, such as the origin of the text by phone number, and the intended recipient. All this data is usually well backed up by the telecom companies involved, and can be very reliably used in court, if retrieved using unlawful methods. Any recorded voice conversations can also be easily authenticated to make sure they match the timestamps, and voices matched. If investigations have revealed such malicious intentions to blackmail, by those accusing Robert from the word go, it means R. Kelly was simply trapped intentionally, and should not be held fully accountable for everything that may have transpired. There is no way government can insist on giving him the maximum sentence of 25 years and more, for a case surrounded by such contradicting circumstances. According to Denzel Smith, it's hard to believe, but it's happening. The courts of law are choosing to follow talk over verifiable evidence in this case. Hardly any physical evidence indicating abuse, but surprisingly, this claim is still largely on the table. Meanwhile, R. Kelly's lawyer Jennifer Bonjean has probed into R. Kelly's leaked jail calls, and will soon be communicating her findings. This alone could cause a shift in the status quo and see R. Kelly walk free, just in case it is proved that this was a move by prosecution to unlawfully gather evidence, and to sabotage his defense. According to the United States laws, evidence collected through illegal means cannot be used in court. Jennifer Bonjean also intends to probe into why the New York judge deliberately ignored the text message evidence which could have broken R. Kelly's case open by disqualifying Azriel Clary's accusations against the R&B king. There is no reason R. Kelly should be charged for Azriel Clary, yet it was her mother hooking up her own daughter whose real age she knew better to him. There was no way for R. Kelly to tell if Azriel had been lying to him about his age in such circumstances. This new text message evidence, if not rejected by court as usual, could prove a turning point for the fate of the R&B king. The problem is that court is fond of ignoring any form of evidence which places the credibility of prosecution witnesses on a weighing scale. If this had not been the case, the dynamics of the entire case would have been different. Remember, there is so much evidence online that would greatly compromise this credibility, but just like I said, it's not even considered relevant by federal court. According to Philly Fawn, it's a shame what they are doing to this man. The sad part of it is that it's his own people trying to bury him alive with completely no compassion. It's like we always do this to ourselves before others join in to finish the man on our behalf. Someone may be quick to respond, who would stand for somebody that does what Kelly did? Forgetting that they could be worse criminals in their own private life, only that they are not in the limelight for the world to be vigilant with their moves. Robin McQueen says, "I pray that R. Kelly gets free, he deserves better treatment than what he is getting, you know. It's a shame and a disgrace that we have opportunists who try to live off of other people's success, and have no shame in doing just that. If L was R. Kelly, L would disconnect myself with the people who lied on me and wanted to cause me harm. I'll hope the Lord will show R. Kelly that those people meant him no good so he can make some changes." If you wish to take part in a live interview on this channel discussing any of these topics, let us know by emailing us on sashahnnewsroom@gmail.com for scheduling. That is all we had for you today on HN What's Your Say? To keep updated whenever we post a new video, subscribe to this channel now. Also remember to hit the bell icon and enable notifications. And feel free to share your opinions with us in the comment section below, and let us know if you would like us to publish your views in our next release. We value all our subscribers' opinions.